Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a playthrough of Tidal Blades Heroes of the Reef solo mode. So, look at the size of this board, this play area. Your eyes do not deceive you. This is a massive table hog. But at the end of the day, it is kind of a light to middleweight engine building game. You have card play, you have some dice over here, you got your workers that you're going to be placing, but at the end of the day, it all kind of coheres and comes together in a engine building experience that's going to happen over the next 4 rounds. And over here is a bot, again, against which you are going to compete. This playthrough is only going to feature the solo mode. I'm going to go over as much of the general rules as I can, but I'm not going to go over all of the multiplayer rules. This playthrough is specific to solo because I haven't played this game multiplayer. Darn you, COVID. I think it's a very fun solo experience. So I'm eager to get to the table, show you how it plays, and then get a full playthrough. But first, let's go ahead and take care of some business. This is the One Stop Co-op Shop. We are a YouTube channel. Yeah, hopefully this is not the first video that you've seen. If it is, welcome. If it is not, thank you so much for checking us out. We have a stream channel, which is the sister to this one, also on YouTube, where Peter takes a look at the latest games. We got Marvel Champions on there, all sorts of fun games that people are playing, current, that people are playing right now. We have a Discord. Please join the conversation. Please consider it a contribution to our Patreon. Patreon is how we can continue bringing great coverage of games like this. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the rules for the solo mode of Tidal Blades Heroes of the Reef. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the player area. So this is Axel right over here. Axel is a totally tubular surfer dude. And eventual Tidal Blade champion. There's actually a lot of lore that goes into this. You're going to see some lore in the main book and also in this Axel's playstyle and Axel's story. There really is a lot of craft that went into the setting up of the theme of Tidal Blades. All right. Mechanically, what you are going to focus on is this board over here. This board will have your 4 stats: your focus, your spirit, your resilience, your synergy. I'll explain those as we go on, but the main thing to know is that these stats increase. So these are dials, and they're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And the goal of the game really is to get your stats as high as possible so you can manipulate things and be able to score some points or do whatever. There are victory points indicated on the sides over here. So as you get up thresholds, you'll score more points. But that's actually not relevant in solo because there's no points in solo. It's mostly about beating the fiend. I call him the fiend, the rival, whatever you want to call him. I think the game called him the rival. I'll get to that in a second. Cool. So you're going to want to increase your stats. You're going to want to play some cards. You are going to have a hand of cards. I'll show you how these work in a second. These are challenges, but just know that you have them. You also have an always on power. So this power, as you could see, very evocative art. He is the windsurfer dude, so to speak. And as I move on through the game and I increase my synergy, I am going to give access to a whole bunch more power that are just kind of additive to the experience. So then in the solo mode, I'm going to have some help. Normally these characters would be not, they're your rivals, basically. You'd be competing against them, but in solo, they help you out. So we have a little bunny over here, or a rat or something like that, I'm not really sure, and a young lady. If we impress them, then we will be able to take actions, extra actions, which are going to be completely necessary in order to take down the rival. Last thing I'll show you is these dice. You start with 2 dinky dice. Eventually, you're going to upgrade with some better dice, some colored dice, but for the most part, you start with these dinky ones, and they are going to be how you complete the challenges, which is what I'm going to show you after I go to the main board. So here is the giant board. If you've ever played a worker placement game, you will know that those boards tend to just be really big and really busy. You need a lot of space for the spots that you are going to be putting your worker, and this is no different. So think of this whole board as there's a bunch of spots to be able to put your worker and do your thing. You are going to have 2 placements at the beginning of the game. As the round progresses, this is the round tracker down here. little round tracker over there. Once I get to round 2, I'm going to have a 3rd placement, and then round 3, and then round 4, I'm going to have a 4th placement. The game is 4 rounds and done. So the motif of the game is that this is a series of arenas, and you're going to be challenging in various ways. So you got the Coliseum, Lamar Stadium, the Droska Ring, so Ring, Stadium, Coliseum. You're competing for stuff. Generally, what you're going to be doing is you're going to go to a space, get a thing, and then have the option of competing in a challenge, the challenge of the cards up here. So in the Coliseum, there's generally just pure get stuff, right? I go here, I get a blue die, a red die, which are the upgraded dice, a die and a fruit, and a card. These cards are stunt cards. They have various effects. So this is just pure get stuff. Generally, you get the thing and you have an extra thing that you can do after, depending on what space. So I would get a red die and also draw a stunt card. Droska Ring is your market. So you're going to get stuff and also buy from the market. So either you're going to spend your fruit or you're going to gain a fruit if you don't have or don't want to buy from the market. Here at Lamar Stadium, also a place to get stuff. However, what you're going to get is going to depend on where the boat is and where it goes. So I'm going to want to pedal the boat different places. And as I go to different places, here's a stunt card, here's a shell, moving up on the champion board. So different effects, kind of a variable place in order to get resources. The Citadel of Time is going to be where you gather those challenges. So once I go to any of the spaces in the Citadel of Time, so I can go here, here, or here, or I can go here. The main action is I get to draw 2 challenges. So I'm going to be drawing from the deck over here, and that would come into my hand. I can either draw from the market or draw from the top of the deck. Obviously, if I'm gunning for things, I want the option, but if there's nothing good here, you can go ahead and draw from the top. Finally, the last sort of worker placement style space you're going to go is the Fold. The Fold is kind of a culmination point in your game. You're going to be hitting that once or twice. These are where monsters come out. So I have the giant mud crab over there. As I gather dice, so this is places where I'm going to be able to gather dice. I'm going to be spending them, for the most part, fighting these monsters. As I complete and cover these spaces, I'm going to get credit for some points. If I kill it, I get a little bit of an extra bonus. However, once the monster goes away, whether it's defeated or it escapes, you will lose those dice. So generally, you're going to want to build up, and then put yourself in a position to do some serious damage, and it kind of resets, a soft reset of your game, so to speak. Hopefully, you have put yourself in a position to launch into the next series of upgrades. The next thing I'm going to do, because you could do this basically at any spot that corresponds with the color. So like if I'm at Lamar Stadium, which is this peach color, I can do this challenge. If I'm at the Coliseum, which is purple, I can do this challenge. You get the idea. Optional, you don't have to do it, but you tend to, more often than not, if you have one of these to complete, you're going to want to complete them as a bonus action after you do the Coliseum. Okay, so then what do? So I have the high-speed joust over here, and I'm going to try to cover these symbols. So then I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to gather my dice, and this is dinky dice. I don't have too much going on over here. The other thing that I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to roll this die that I got from the Citadel of Time, the central round tracker. This will get worse as the rounds go on. It's basically kind of opposition. I can roll as much as I want, but each time I get an X, I have to discard one of my dice unless I use a shell. That's what the shells do. All right, so let me demonstrate a roll for the high-speed joust. I got my dice. Okay, that is nothing. Well, actually, it is something. So I did get a question mark, and that question mark could be assigned over here. Question marks are wild. The base dice have all 4 colors. If I'd rolled upgraded dice, they're specialized, so I'd have better chance to get what I want. In this case, is shells. This thing has 2 sides, but I have nothing. Just trusted in luck. So I did get an X this time. So what I would do is I would take a shell and put it on my shell shield, which would indicate, I'll go ahead and focus the shell shield a little bit. That would basically be a block on that X over here. So I could roll again. Okay, that is nothing, and I'd have to discard another X over there. So let's just say I do that a little bit. Eventually, I'm going to roll. I can withdraw and take credit for whatever I can, but let's say I got lucky and I got my second Spirit symbol, so that would be a successful completion of the challenge. This dotted circle represents quote unquote pushing it. This is an extra opportunity to get it, so it's like kind of push your luck. I can do the thing and get the credit for it, but I can really do it and get even more credit for it. As an additional bonus, if I were to do that challenge in front of this person, the champion, check out that mini. He is battling a vicious monster. If I were to do a challenge in front of him, it would move up 1 on the champion track. Always want to do that if you can. So then I have completed the high-speed joust, and I'm going to match symbol to symbol. There's the racer symbol right over there. I now have credit over here, and now I'll be able to do a couple of things. First of all, if I can complete both of these cards or related cards and kind of tuck them in that way, then the bonus says that I would get 2 points on 2 places on the champion board, which is very, very important. I'll show you the champion board in just a second. The other reason is because I want to be able to set up to beat monsters. Monsters have a weakness that they have, so this is the style weakness. So then if I am going at it with this peach symbol over there, it is weak to the peach symbol, I would get an extra die to roll against it of my choice, and I would choose this one in order to be able to meet this condition. I can only meet this condition, this better die, with a better symbol, and I would get a champion just for matching that symbol, so I like that. So as I increase my number of these, I get upgraded dice. So this is the elite dice, fewer, no misses, more successes, and then this die with multiple successes on 1 roll. So building up, upgrading, all that kind of thing. But I did kind of skip the lead a little bit. I have to give myself credit for the 2 symbols that I got. That is how I increase my stats. 2 circles, 2 stats. Push it for a 3rd symbol, I would have been able to get a 3rd turn of the wheel. Now that I've shown you how the basic flow of the game works, I can explain a little bit about these dials. This is your focus. This is your maximum dice that you can roll. You start off with 1, so I only have room for 1 die. If I wanted to roll 2 dice, I would have to eat a fruit. Your spirit recommends your stunt power. Your spirit actually interacts very highly with this deck over here of one-shot abilities. So if you want to play a very one-shotty game, you're going to want to increase your spirit. Your resilience determines how much you refresh your dice and upgrade your dice. So then when you use your dice, it actually goes into the spent pile. And at the end of the round, you'll be able to refresh as many dice as you have resilience and also upgrade your dice. Finally, the synergy I showed you before determines your upgrades. This is the champion board, which I've separated out up top for clarity. Champion board right there. Normally, that would be relevant because you're going to be scoring points depending on who's leading. You get points for scoring certain thresholds. But as I said, in the solo mode, you're not going to care about the points. What you care about is your position over here. There you go. Relative to the rival. So the rival is actually going to be going along with you. It is going to be taking up spaces. I'll show you exactly how the rival works in just a second. But in terms of jockeying for position, how to win the game, you are going to be scoring points. The rival has a mechanism to be able to go ahead a little bit, and you are going to try to be kind of jockeying back and forth in order to see who is ahead. And at the end of the game, if you're ahead of the rival, you win the game straight out. These are your allies. As you progress in notoriety, you are going to be impressing the rival, which is when you're equal or greater. So then that's when you can unlock the extra move of the rival. So let's say I have impressed the young lady over there. I get to open her up and use her 1 action per round. Once I have used her, she moves ahead because she's done great things, and you have to catch up in order to be able to use her again. So the last thing I'm going to talk to everybody about is solo mode. So solo mode, for me, is going to be always this guy. He's a playable character. You totally can play him. He's fine. But I don't like the look of his jib or the cut of his jib. He is going to be my rival. So it's actually pretty easy to run the bot on a turn-to-turn basis. You're going to pull from the challenge deck, and you're going to see what you get. So then this is purple, and it is worth 1 victory point. So then you would tuck that under, and then the rival would go to that space. So then there's, see if you look at the Colosseum, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. 1 victory point means that he would occupy the guard tower. He would go there. He would spend his action token, so he'd block me from going there. That's fine. Some of the places he has like a little bonus thing that he does, but for the most part, what you need to know is that he just goes to a space, whatever you tell him. If he does not visit the judge is right here. If he does visit the judge, he will get 2 extra champion points, which I do not like. I don't want that. But if he does not visit the judge, he pulls another card. And in this case, it would be going to the arena. He would not go anywhere. It would just be another card that he would get. So this is going to build up over time. If it hits a certain threshold, normal mode, if it hits 11 points, that's what this point threshold over here is. 12 is easy, 10 is hard. Once it hits that threshold, then it would do some kind of effect. So then it would, if you got the yellow, it would pull from this deck called the plot effect deck, and something bad would happen to you. If you pull the purple, bad things happen, I think with the monster. And then here, he would advance the boat and deny you resources that you would get from the boat. So don't let that build up too much. You actually have a little bit of control over how much this builds up when you complete a challenge. So let's say I completed this challenge I have in my hand. A 1, I would be able to discard a 1 value card from here, 1 or below, or like whatever the challenge I complete is, I can discard that card or below it. I would need a, if there was a 2 or a 3, I'll need a 2 or a 3 to discard it, etc., etc. So that is all of the rules. That's a lot. I didn't even explain everything. I had to yada some things just because I really wanted to get into the playthrough. The best way you're going to learn this game is by seeing it happen. This may be it's maybe a barrier for some people to get into it because of just so much happening, but I really like this game, so I'm happy to go through the playthrough, which I'm going to begin right now. All right, so we are set, and we are going to go with the rival. The rival always goes first. Go to the Droska Arena and is going to occupy the 3rd spot of the Droska Arena. So I'm going to go ahead and move that to the board. I'm not going to show tucking this under the solo mode board. So when I go to the solo mode area, you'll see it, but I'm not going to show that. I will show his placement. Here he is at Droska Ring. He's going to cover that 3rd spot. Normally this would let me refresh dice that I had spent during the round based on my resilience stat. No longer, not this round. He is also going to discard that card. So for my turn, I want to go to Lamar Stadium for many reasons. Axel's more powerful over there. The judge is also over there, but I need to set up first. So I'm going to go take my worker, Axel, 1 little thing over there, and I'm going to go to the Blade Advisor. Blade Advisor is going to give me 1 red die because I'm going to go for a red challenge in a bit. And as a condition of going there, I get to draw a stunt card. Stunt card is, when you visit the Droska Ring, choose a market card with a fruit cost up to your spirit trait level. Pretty good. I'm going to want to improve my spirit in order to take more advantage of these stunt cards. For the rival turn, I ended up drawing this Rebuild the Shattered Cube. So this would go under the board on the Colosseum. It's going to do so in a second. Normally, it would go into the 2nd spot, but I'm already occupying the 2nd spot of the Colosseum because I went to the Blade Advisor. So it moves over to the monster board. So what is going to happen is pretty simple. So his space is over here. He is going to inflict 1 damage on the monster, and he is also going to move up on the champion board. I do not like him moving up on the champion board because I'm supposed to be ahead of him. I'm not going to care too much about this monster this turn, but I don't want him to get too many whales. The reason I did 1 damage is because it's round 1. So he does 1 damage per round. And that's his 2nd turn. For my 2nd action of the turn, I'm going to go to Lamar Stadium. For many reasons. So like I said, the judge is down. I'm going to do a challenge right now. I also want to go to Racer's Bay. That would move this racer an extra spot. So then I would go here. I would get another stunt card. That's the same exact card. How sweet is that? Very nice. And also move and get a shell. So I now have a 3rd shell to play with. And his power is when you use the Lamar Stadium, visit Lamar Stadium, move the boat an extra space. Fantastic. So I get to move up on the champion board. You're going to see that when I go back to the champion board. So now I want to do a challenge. I want to do high speed joust. 2 symbols with a potential for a third if I pushed it. I don't want to push it this turn. I will show you why in a second, but I'm going to roll these 2 dice. And hopefully not those symbols. Hopefully that would be a really good symbols to roll. Let's see what I do. And I'm going to roll the opposition die. Wow! That could not have gone better, people. So then I got the 2 symbols over here. I got 1 regular, the thing I needed, and 1 wild. And I did not have to spend a shell to do it because I rolled the blank and not the X. Fantastic. I am back on my main board. You see I have these 2 dice spent. This is the challenge that I have overcome. I'm going to slide it under here. That'll be good for future reference for the reasons I talked to in the run through. Most important for me though, I get to move this up twice. I now have 2 spirit, which I really, really like. And I also have this 1 die over here that I did not use. See if I use that next turn. All right, so this is the bot's 3rd turn. A little bit of a retcon. After his 1st turn, I should have taken another purple. So he's gonna, next time we see the bot board, you will see 2 purple cards. The 1st turn, he got a yellow and a purple. The 2nd turn, he got a purple and came over here. 3rd turn, which is why I'm still here, he is going to score a 4-pointer. This is Lamar Stadium. Lamar Stadium is not at 4 spaces. So he comes over here and he hits him again. Gets another champion movement on the champion board and then moves. Does another damage over here. If I want to get credit, I'm going to have to start hitting this thing, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. That is his 2nd action. So here are the updated champion standings. So the bot started here and he gained 2 from hitting the monster twice. When I beat that challenge, not only did I get 1 from doing it in front of the judge earlier in that turn, I also, on the Lamar wheel, I got a champion point from there too. So I moved ahead 2, and now I can use her action in order to have another action here at the end of the turn. So as you saw from the champion board, I actually impressed the young lady over here. Her name is Dust. So I get to go with her and take another action. All right, so I am going to go to Droska Ring, and I'm actually going to do a challenge at Droska Ring, which is why I'm here, or one of the reasons why I'm here. So I only have 2 options. I could get a fruit and cycle the market a little bit, which I don't want to do. I'm going to get 2 shells. I have a feeling I'm going to need those shells. The reason I wanted to go there, first of all, I am going to attempt the challenge. Second of all, I'm actually going to cash these in nice and early. So I get to get 2, because my focus is now 2, I get to get 2 cards, or my spirit, sorry about that. I get to get 2 cards, and there happen to be 2 cards in the row. I can take 1 at a time. I'm definitely going to take this. This is a free focus upgrade, which is very, very valuable. I want that. So that's going to get discarded, and on my focus, when you see my board next, is going to go up 1 to 2. So go ahead and reveal what that is. I can't afford that. Not now. Good thing this is a good consolation prize. I'm going to get 1 white dice and another shell. Combo, combo, combo. Sweet. All right, so I'm actually going to take that white dice that I just used, and I'm going to attempt this challenge. Steer the Droska herd. Now, I have 2 dice. I could theoretically use 2 and try to go for the little push it mechanism, but I'm not going to get all of my dice back automatically. I'm only going to get 2. So I think I'm just going to go for the 1 and see what happens. Oh, I have to roll this thing over here. That's nothing. I did not lose that die from rolling it. I have to keep rolling. Perfect. All right. I'm getting some of Colin's luck on rolling over here. That question mark is a wild. I get to complete the Steer the Droska herd, get the credit, and don't lose anything. All right, so checking out my personal player board, I had loaded up on shells to, because I thought that I was gonna go much worse. It didn't end up going terrible at all. So I still have lots of shells, some fruit there. Going to tuck that in over here. Going to get 1 resilience, which is brilliant. That gets me up to 2 resilience. So now I'm going to be able to refresh 2 of these, which I'm totally fine with. So now I have 2 focus, 2 spirit, and 2 resilience. Job well done for the first round. So for round end, I just want to update where we are at the solo bot. Already 3 points down in Droska Ring, 4 points in here, and 4 points in Lamar Stadium. Ended up getting a lot of really powerful cards here, so they're going to hit the plot threshold pretty early. I'm over here doing dicky stuff, dicky challenges, so I can't discard these. I want to go after that and thin some of these piles so that I don't get hit with too many plot effects. All right, so let's do some end of round stuff. I did not explain this during the walkthrough, but pretty obvious in terms of an enemy turn when you get into it. So then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this die, I'm going to roll the enemy dice. If I roll 1 to 5, nothing happens. If I roll 6 to 8, then the invasion happens. So let's see what I do. 8, terrible. So I lose a die. So I had a white die in the spent die. I'm just going to lose that out of my pile. This is going to move down, and this is going to appear. Just to go over the rule here, after next turn, this one's going to disappear, and I would lose -1 on the champion board if I don't have an equal or greater number of hits here. So I think I'm going to want to just dink it a couple of times. Couple reasons. One, I can get myself up on the champion board. Second, I don't want to lose that extra thing. And who knows, maybe I'll kill it. Probably not, but what are you going to do? So that is the enemy turn, and also my man, the rival, goes back to start. Okay, so I reset my stuff. I get my action tokens back and also a 3rd action token from reaching round 2. So I'll go ahead and stick those over there. I get my 2 dice back relative to my resilience, and I can also upgrade these dice. I can upgrade 2 of those dice. So I think I want to upgrade these 2 dice to their better versions. So then the red, I'm going to keep on going along the track and getting this red die over here. And then this one over here, the white, I'm going to upgrade to the first blue section right there. Another thing that happened is I used her power, Dust's power. So then once I used, it didn't apply because I didn't fulfill a challenge where there was another character. So just going to move that. And this turn, if I use Dust, it will have this power. Before a resilience challenge, you may pay 1 shell to get a novice die. Man, that would have been cool last time, but what are you going to do? The very last thing that happens in the round is that the judge rotates. Now they're going to be impressed by battles at the Droska Ring. We are on to round 2. I am all ready to begin round 2. So I'm going to pull a card, and it is the Droska Ring for the rival. Going to the 3rd spot. Man, they're getting a lot of big fat victory point cards. I don't like it. So then I'm going to take his actions point. And he does, when I get 3 actions a turn, he's going to get 4. So he's going to go before me and then after me, depending on what I do with my allies. So that's the 3rd spot at the Desert Caravan. Does not pull a subsequent card because the judge is there, but he goes 2 more spaces up on the champion track. That's terrible. Discards that. And that is the end of the rival's turn. For my first action in the 2nd round, I'm going to go to the Chronoseum for a couple of reasons. One, I'm starting to build up Spirit, so I think I'm going to want to focus as much on Spirit. These cards are very good with Spirit, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a stunt card. Refresh a number of dice equal to your Spirit trait level. That's nice to kind of like fulfill multiple challenges in a round. And the free action, which is to pull another card. Gain a number of fruit equal to your Spirit trait. I'm going to get my Spirit trait as high as I possibly can. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try a challenge. I'm going to try to unlock the Yamazi crate, easy challenge. This is just a starter card, so like you could see starter. I don't always fulfill all three of them, but it just so happened that this game things kind of came together that way. So this is the second round die, and has more fails and also a side where you can fail twice and have to get rid of multiple die. However, this is an easy challenge, and I'm only going to roll one die and see what I can do with that. Okay, that is blank, nothing. Perfect. So then I'm going to put my one shell on here to block this X over there. So that goes back. This is a wild. The wild fulfills the condition. I did not push it, no reason to. And I've unlocked the Yamazi crate. Okay, so that was a low-cost way of doing what I needed to do. Got my die over here. It is spent. Going to put that here. That does a couple of things. First of all, it's my last stat that I need to get to 2. So then all of my stats here are at 2, which I love. Gives me a lot of flexibility, a lot of options. When I get 2 on synergy, I get to pick 2 and keep 1. This one says, when fighting a monster, reduce the danger die by 1 if possible. I like that. You may use any fighting style. Woo! Really like that. Or unfailing optimism. When rolling a die, you may use 1 blank face as any single trait symbol. Oh yeah. I really like that. I tend to favor doing a lot of challenges over fighting a lot of monsters, especially in solo. I've won that way anyway, but it's maybe multiple ways to do it. But I'm definitely going to take that blank as a wild card. That's pretty cool. Just to update you what's going on the champion board, I have gained 2 points for completing the set of challenges. I have now impressed my allies enough so I can use both of their actions on this turn, which I'm very, very happy with. Croc's still up ahead, but I am right on his heels. All right, so the next card that I drew for the rival, Floating Maze, but that doesn't matter. What matters is he's going to go here. He is going to go on the 1 spot, which the northern spot is the Palm Plaza, which is perfectly fine. Is going to move the boat and deny me access to these fruit, which is also perfectly fine. And that is going to go into his pile. Take my word for it, there are now 5 plot effects in the peach pile. Because he did not impress the judge or go to the fold, he's going to pull another one. Look what he did. Pulled a big fatty. I don't like that one at all. For my second action of the turn as Axel, I'm going to go to Lamar Stadium. Hi, rival over there. For a couple of reasons. So, going to go to Racer's Bay. Do the same thing I did before. So Racer's Bay, well, first of all, I get to do the action, which is pull a challenge. I have no challenges, but I'm going to pull from the Citadel of Time. This one was face up. I just acquire that and then refill the market. Take my word for it. Okay, next thing I did, I get a novice die for free. So that is going to go into my charge pile. Active dice ready to be used. And I also get this sweet upgrade. I get to upgrade 1 of any of my stats for free. That is going to be Spirit. Spirit, I did not get up to 3. I'm still on 2, but I'm 1 away from 3. Once I get to 3, the stun cards are going to get really, really good in my favor. So I definitely want to keep on hammering that. Okay, so reason I went to Lamar Stadium in addition to all that and got this challenge is that I can do it right now. Try. I'm not exactly going for resilience, but that's what I had available to me. And because I got the novice die, I actually have 3 dice to work with. So I'm going to go get my enemy dice, and away we go. Okay, so I got a shield. This is useless. This is either 1, so I got to fill this. So I'm 2 out of 3. I do have to spend a shell in order to block that. Right now, I'm a little bit focused over there, but I have 4 shells in my card. According to the card over here, I can spend 4 shells from the shield to set a die to any face. That's a really good power. Spend 6 shells from the shield to refresh 2 dice is also good. I may just save up for those 6 shells because I think I have some rerolls in me. I have a lot of shells. So I'm willing to spend some shells and just kind of risk it a little bit. Okay, so yeah, let's give it a shot. So I only need, and the other reason I'm doing that is because I got this power that gives me whatever face I want on a blank. So I have 3 out of 6 chance on the white die to get what I want. That is not what I want. I have to spend another shell. I'm going to roll one more time. Wow. Okay, so my luck is kind of run out a little bit. I'm at 6 shells. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 4 of those shells. So just to see what I'm doing. So that was 6 shells. I've discarded 4 of them. Just discard them there. Get rid of them. Change 1 die to a face that I want, which is right there. I've now completed the condition of Total Brawl. Another little rule, the rival was right there. Had I successfully pushed it in front of the rival, it would have shamed him and pushed his thing back. I didn't have enough dice. I thought this was worth doing. The best option that I had on the board available to me. So here we are back on my board. All those dice were spent. I get to acquire that, though. That is worth 3 points. And I get to move my resilience up to, so then when I use my resilience, I get 3 of these dice back, and I get to upgrade 3 of them. I'm a big fan of that. And I also get 1 more focus. That doesn't do anything right now, but eventually I'm going to want to roll 3 dice without having to spend any fruit. I probably should have spent the fruit for that last thing. Let's spend it right now. Retcon. Last part of that, really important. As a part of the challenge, I can discard a card that is worth that many victory points or less. That stinks because there's 2 4-pointers here, so I can't discard that, but I can discard the 1. Sure, why not? Slow them down. All right, so my luck was unfortunately against me a little bit. I pulled the challenge card for, the challenge card for the rival. It is in the exact same spot that he went before, which is terrible. So when he can't go to that spot, he's just going to go back to his favorite, going to wail away at some monsters. And this time, because it's round 2, he is going to deal damage, continue to deal damage. Now I can no longer avoid the bad stuff, the bad effects of here, because I can't beat him. Obviously, he's covered 4 out of 6. And he gets yet another space on the champion board. I'm going to have to go to work. For my third action of the turn, I have held out on doing this long enough. My man over here is going to go to the Citadel of Time. So I can go here. That would refresh all my dice. I have ways to get back some dice, so I'm not too worried about that. I do want to get this moving. So this means get 3 fruit and discard 2 challenge cards. So I'm going to get rid of this one and this one. Actually, this one and that one. So that is discarded. And then I'll get some new ones. Sugar. That does not do me that much good. That is, unfortunate. So I am going to, I get to take 1 and then see what else comes out. So I'm going to take a Chronoceum one because I do want to try a challenge there. I'll take a 2 for some synergy. Come on. Okay, that's not too bad. If I want to get my synergy up, I have some options there. So here we go. And that is the end of my turn. All right, so the rival's last turn. Oh, man. I'm just not having a good game with this. So then it's going to go to the second spot over here. He's going to use his last token, cover the Glass Forges Guild, and look at the judges right there. 2 more points for the champion, or for the rival. Look at that. I have a lot of catching up to do. The good news is that I have access to both of my allies. So then my first trick is going to be, I'm going to take my purple ally over here, and I'm going to put them on the floating gardens. I'm going to get 1 novice die and a fruit. Also going to use this, sudden reflexes, refresh a number of dice equal to my spirit trait level, which is 2. So more spirit, get out of here. And so I'm going to refresh my 2 good dice. So I'm going to take, because my focus level is 2, I get to use 2 dice. And I'm going to try to complete this synergy challenge, which would be good because if I get the 2 symbols, I'm going to unlock another always on power. 2 shields and nothing, basically a null turn. Okay, I got what I wanted. I got question mark, and I spend my last shell on the cell shield, but I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. Okay, here's my thing over here. I get to improve this twice, which is excellent. Not finding a lot of opportunities to push it, but I'm making it up in quantity. I'm doing a whole lot of these. So then, with a 3rd synergy, I get a 3rd always on power. See what I get. When you visit the fold, you may choose an arena and take its island bonus. Ooh, that would be nice because I would get a free stun card. That'd be excellent. Or you may use your synergy trait level in place of focus. That would increase my max dice size. I'm doing pretty good on synergy. I think I'm going to go. I think this is pretty sweet. When I'm in the fold, I can choose. Basically, it lets me go to the fold multiple times and get stun cards. I think I'm going to really focus on getting stun cards. So there I go. The other thing that happened when I did that challenge was I can discard this challenge from the plot effect over here. Bye. Get out of here. So the last move I'm going to do is going to be with young lady over here, Dust. I only have one option over here, so I'm going to go to the Drifter's dock. I get 1 fruit, and I get to discard 2 market cards. See if I get anything good. That's pretty good. And 2 shells. Oh, those are pretty good. Boy. So I think I'm going to try to go for the gusto over here. I'm not liking how far behind I am. A couple of things. So, okay, first of all, I'm going to use this card, and I'm going to get more fruit. So I'm going from 3 to 5. So I want this card. Right? So let's go ahead and grab that card. So I'm going to spend 4 of my fruit. I only have 1 left, and I get 2 novice dice in my active pool to go along with this nice die that I have. What I'm going to go for, because I get 2 dice and a challenge card, there's nothing useful for me in the challenge row, but I tried a bunch in the challenge row. I want to see if I can pull a Droska Ring challenge. Yeah, there we go. And actually, it's pretty good for what I want. So excellent. So I'm going to pull that, and I'm actually going to do that immediately. Wow. That ended up pretty good. Sweet. So then definitely using this dice, and I'm definitely using this other dice. I don't have to spend any fruit. I'm focused. My big thing, though, is that I don't have shells. Ooh, that may be a mistake to do this without shells. I went for broke. My bet is that, so I'm going to try to push it, and I have a 3 in 6 chance of getting it here. And I have a very good chance of getting the shell over, the wavy over here. Oh, boy. Well, I might have been better off getting that one, huh? But I wouldn't have had the extra novice dice to use. Come see, come saw. What's the worst that can happen, right? The worst that can happen is I can lose 1 die. Never mind. Worst that can happen is I can lose 2 dice. I swear to you people, I swear, that was my first roll. That was not movie magic. Oh, man. Beautiful. So I got exactly what I wanted. Didn't have to discard a die at all. So a bunch of things happen at once, which is all excellent for me. Whew. Okay. So first of all, I impress the judge, and I get an extra point on the champion board. You'll see that when I scroll up to the champion board. Second of all, I get to credit for this, and I'll show you that what happens with a second. Third of all, I pushed it in front of the rival, which makes him shameful, and he'll go one backwards in the champion board. Again, you'll see that when I go there. But let's go back to my board and check out all the good stuff. So as you can see, no shells, plenty of dice in my pile over here. Got 2 spirit, which, whew, wow. Man, I love spirit. That's going to be really handy. And I'm up to 3 spirit overall. That's going to really supercharge the skill cards that are over here. I can't discard anything from the solo mode bot row because this is a dinky one. That was 1. Not bad. However, check that out. Another set, another 2 champion points. So let me update you on what's going on with the champion board. So the Croc had a nice lead on me, but I pushed it in front of him successfully, so that was back 1. These allies move forward. I use their actions, so they always move forward 3. So they escaped from me. However, I got 1 point for doing a challenge in front of the champion and 2 points for completing a second set. I have unlocked their actions for the 3rd round. I'm nice and close to the Croc. Oh, baby. That was good stuff overall. All right, so end of round stuff. You would check first for monster invasion. Both of the penalties on these monsters are lose a die. So I'm going to lose 1 white die out of my spent pile. Had plenty of dice where that came from. So this monster escapes. That monster is gone. And I move back 1 on the champion board. So I am no longer using both allies, but I can fix that. I'm not too worried about that. The monster comes down. The last monster here is the massive hag swarm. Basically the same thing. Like the simple monsters do the same thing. This is like the easy monster. Less spaces. Their powers aren't that complicated. At some point I'm going to get a reward, a kill bonus. Maybe I'll make it this turn. But that'll be when I move over there. I would have rolled this die, but it doesn't matter. Both monsters had the same penalty. Okay, I get to move 3 dice over because of my resilience, and I get to upgrade 3 dice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade these 2 dice and this die. This die is kind of my champion over here. I'm actually going to upgrade that to what they call the guild die, which has no blanks and 2 successes for spirit. I think I'm going to just finish off my spirit row, so I want that in my back pocket. These 2, I think I'm going to go after one of the monsters, so I'm going to turn that into 2 die over there. Okay, so that was 3 upgrades, 3 refreshes. That is it. Finally, I'm going to rotate the powers because I used both of the powers of my allies. The new power here is when rolling dice, you may use 1 resilience trait symbol as any. Get a little bit of flexibility over there if I'll use him to complete a challenge. And for dust, after fighting a monster, move the bonus die to your spent die air instead of losing it. Woo! Wow! I know exactly. I'm going to fight the monster. I know exactly who's going to do it. Last thing that happens is the judge moves over to the Chronoseum. I'll collect all of my pieces and the enemy pieces, and I'll be ready for round 3. All right, we are now on to round 3. As always, the rival goes first. The rival is going to go to the Chronoseum, the 3rd spot in the Chronoseum. So we're going to put that there. He now has 5 points in his plot effect over there. He's going to take a token. 1, 2, 3. He went to a judge's spot, so he is going to streak ahead. I do not like that at all. All right, so yeah, enough dilly-dallying around with these challenges. I need to get more. Also get more shells. So I got to get my 3 shells. You're going to see those on my player board when I get them. And I get to pick 2 quests. I think I like going for resilience. This is a big fat one, and I have a lot of big fat resilience die, but I at least have this one. Easy to push it. And if I wanted to, if he stuck around next turn, I could push it in his face. That would be great. Get to pull another one. Ooh. More resilience and some spirit. I like spirit. I'm going to keep that one that just came out. And some good Droska for variety. All right, that dirty rat. Look at him. He's going to go to Droska yet, or the Chronoseum yet again. He is going to streak up the achievement token yet again. He only has 3 more spaces, so he's just going to be there. I don't think that any further increases do anything. He's not going to get any bonuses, but he is going to move to the second space because that was worth 2 victory points. He impressed the judge. He's just preening in front of him at this point, so I need to get on my horse and catch up with him. All right, so this is a little bit of a suboptimal move for my card layout. However, I want to try to A, make sure he doesn't get that spot, and B, while he's there, do a challenge there and knock him back a little bit. So I am going to go there with my last action. My second action of the turn. Sorry about that. So then that is going to be there. I get to pick 1 card. Remove Lamar Stadium. Move the bow forward extra spaces. Wow, this is going to be great. I know where I'm going next. Second card I'm going to draw is Instant Reflexes. I get 1 of these things up to my current spirit level, which is 3. I would. So I'd get refresh 1 die, get 1 shell, and 1 of these. I'm going to get my spirit up pretty soon, so I'm going to save that, I think. I don't think I need it right now. Okay. So, or do I need it right now? Yes. Actually, I'm going to use this. I am going to use it right now. I'm going to use it up to the 3. I'm going to refresh 1 die, which is going to be this die, which I'm about to use. Get 1 shell and get 1 challenge card. Okay. So, shell. 1 challenge card is going to be this because, just in case, I'm going to try to angle my upgrades to be able to complete that. We'll see what happens. Okay. Refill that. Okay. I'm going to complete this challenge or try to complete this challenge. Broken Bridge challenge. I guess I'm going to try to leap over it. I have these 2 dice and the enemy die. Nothing. 1, and I lose a spirit. Good thing I collected some before that. I am now at 4 on my shell card. So I could, if I wanted to, just discard these 4 and call it the Better Part of Valor. 1 more. Why not? Good. Okay, so that cost me another shell. I think it's worth it. To complete this, that goes back. I completed 1 in front of the judge's face. Also, I completed 1 in front of his face. I pushed it in front of his face, so he goes back 1 on the champion board. Okay, so here's the card that I completed. I can't do anything to the enemy board because it's dinky. Completing a lot of dinky challenges. I don't know if I'm doing this right. These go in my spent pool. Still got 2 shells. 5 shells on here, 1 fruit. And that was resilience. So I don't get any extra resilience, but I'm close to 4. Hopefully I can get to 4 before the beginning of the round. Enemy turn. He had pulled the white or the yellow, worth 4. There's only 3 spaces on yellow, so he goes over here. You guys know the drill. He's been doing that forever. He is going to deal 3 hits for 3 rounds. Right there. And once again, move up on the champion board. Well, that's a little bit messy, but that is the solo bot. So now he has triggered a plot. I have 4, 6, 9, 12, plenty. So then what he does is he discards half of them, the more valuable ones. So then there's 4 cards over here. He's going to discard the 4 and the 3. Right there. Goodbye. And he is going to execute a plot, which for yellow is a plot effect. Mind Wipe. Discard a number of cards from your hand equal to the plot strength, either challenge or stun cards. One-time effect. It's not the worst thing in the world. I am definitely not getting rid of my stunts. But I probably wasn't going to do that. And this one is dinky. So I think I'm okay. And I'm probably just going to do this one. So don't love losing challenges, but, you know, I don't love anything that the rival does. All right, so for Axel's last proper move of the turn, I'm going to go to Racer's Bay. So Racer's Bay, if you recall, let's move this once. I get a stun card. Same thing, instant reflexes. Pretty good card right there. And then for the Racer's Bay aspect, I get another shell. So it's going to come in handy. For the power racing engine, the standalone power that I have, I get to move it another one, and I get to move one forward in the champion track, which once again unlocks both allies for me to use. I am also going to use expert rigging. When I visit Lamar Stadium, move the boat forward extra spaces equal to my spirit, which is 3. Bam! That is absolutely going to happen. Get 2 fruit. Get a challenge card, which I think is going to be... I'm actually going to pull Droska, just in case, just to set me up for a third potential set over here for 2 things. And also, probably most importantly, for my purposes now, I get a novice dice. Okay. Whew, what a turn. But that is not all. I'm going to attempt this challenge over here. My focus is 2. I'm going to use instant reflexes again to refresh 1 die, which once again, I'm going to have to refresh that die. Get another shell and get another challenge. So I'm actually going to just going to top deck. That's not bad. That's flexible. I could do something with that. Did want to get that back because I wanted that to roll over here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 right there. Okay. Hopefully I get that symbol to match up with that. That's what I'm going for. And I roll this enemy die. See what I get. Oh. My focus is only 2. I spend 1 fruit to be able to roll these 3 dice. Okay. Shield. Okay, I'm going to spend 1 shell for that. I'm going to keep rolling. I have 6 shells. So keep that in mind. I can refresh some dice. We'll see if I can roll what I want. Ooh, pretty terrible. That would require me to use 2 shells. Okay. That's what I want. All right, cool. So I get that. I get that for the push it bonus. I have to use 2 shells, but I think that's worth it to complete totally this Bay Bruisers Battle Challenge. Okay, so Bay Bruisers Battle, I get to tuck that in there. I gain 2 resilience. I get my 4 that I was looking for, and also 2 spirit, and that gets me the 4 that I was looking for there too. So good. All my dice are spent over here. And once again, I completed a challenge that was too low for these 4s, but at least I can chuck the 1. Final enemy turn of the round. This is Droska Ring. So that's going to go under his board. He just fired off a Droska Ring plot effect, so I'm not worried about that for a while. Space number 1 discards this card. Back to my turn. All right, so what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to go to the Desert Caravan. The Desert Caravan lets me refresh 4 whole dice because my resilience is 4. And that's the dice that are going to be my very good dice, and then some 3 other ones too. So that gets me refreshed. I could spend, which I'm going to buy from the market, buy a card. I'm going to buy that for some shells, which I'm about to use my shells. I have 3 of my shells to complete. Actually, before I do that, refresh that. Same card to beat a challenge. So tight grip, I am going to use these 3 dice. Try to get that, and I have to use the enemy dice. I have 3 shells to cover me, and plenty of shells on my stealth shield to manipulate. So I get 1. Oh. There. So I do have to spend a shell in order to do that. And I think I am going to do that. I'm going to spend 4 off of my shell shield to turn that into that. That does it. I get to laugh in his face. A number of things happen. Hopefully you're familiar with the process at this point. So then I get that. I get 2 focus. I finally have my focus up to 3. That's nice. And also a synergy. A little bit far. I'm not that far away from 4. That's cool. All of the dice that I use, they go into the spent pile. And look at that beautiful layout. I used the mouse over here, so she's going to move up 3. But I pushed it in front of the champion, which is very, very good for me. Brings him back 1, and I also completed 2. Another set, so I get to leap ahead another 2. So I've set up to use her next turn if I need to. In addition, the challenge that I beat was worth 2. So you get to take that out. I'm not worried about the yellow, but it's always good to deny the bot whenever I can. My last step for the turn is I'm actually going to use Dust over here. She's going to move ahead 3 on the hero track. You know how that works at this point. And I have exactly, by design, 3 dice left. I get to also use the bonus die. So the bonus die, the style over here is that thing. I am level 3 on the Peach, so that lets me get a bonus, this guy. And because I'm using Dust's special power for this turn is, after fighting a monster, move the bonus die to your spent dice area instead of losing it. Fantastic. I'm going to lose these 3 dice, but I'm going to keep that 1. Great trade. Okay. Also roll the enemy dice with it. Sorry about that. Of course it's 2. Whatever. I'm going to spend 2 shells to block. Actually, I'm going to spend 1 shell to lose 1, which would be this one. Block 1, lose 1. This is there, and I have to... Oh, there you go, like that. I am going to try to go for another spirit. Okay, my last shell, I block it, but then I succeed and I beat the challenge. I move 1, 2, because I killed it, 2 trophies on the challenge track. I'll show you that in a second. Also the reward, draw a challenge card, and gain a novice dice. I think I'm going to go for this one just because I like going to the Colosseum to get more stun cards. And you are dead. Get out of here. I move ahead 2, 1 for the kill, and 1 for blocking one of the symbols on the champion track. And finally, I get to improve my dials over here for each spot that I covered. Doesn't really affect things too much. If I was scoring points, that'd be great. But I might get to 4 focus before long. All right, so now I'm going to reset the board one last time. We are going to roll for the monster. There is no monster on 4 at the inner reef, so we are just going to move this monster down here, reveal the only hard monster that will exist. Notice that there are more things to, basically just more conditions and a worse invasion. But, you know, who knows if I'm going to go for that. We're going to take some guys back, and then we're going to get ourselves set up for the last round. All right, on to the final round, or at least set up for it. I pulled back all of my workers, pulled back all of my resources. I now have 4 actions over here, which is fabulous. I have upgraded my dice. I upgraded some whites to some blue over here, and this was the bonus die, but Dust's power was to keep it. So I got to upgrade it to this very good multi-focus die, which is amazing. Still got some dice in there, but, you know, whatever. You can't get them all back. I also changed over Miss Power. This is great. You may discard a challenge card from your hand to draw a stun card, or vice versa once per turn. I love my stun cards, and I have some useless challenges, so we are definitely going to look at that. And Follower of the Fold. After fighting a monster, gain a die with the level equal to the number of different types of trait you have, which is fantastic as well. Last thing I do on the round is to take the Judge and move him to where he started, Lamara Stadium. Okay, last round, first action for the bot is going to go to Droska Ring, number 2 spot over there. So let us bring an action token over here, discard this card, refill that in the market. And I already got the plot effect from yellow, so it doesn't really make a difference. It has 6 points, so I'm not sure if it's going to get there again. I might rue that day because he's going to pull extra cards like he pulls right now. At least it's a 1. So right now he is sitting at 7 points of 11. He can definitely get that in 1 card. So he might hit me with another plot effect. We shall see about that. For my first action, I'm going to head to the Colosseum. No real choice for me because I have the Force Spirit. I have a feeling that these cards are just going to continue to be awesome. So from the action, get a number of fruit equal to your Spirit trait level. Just going to use that right now. Gain 4 fruit. What am I holding on to that for? That brings you to a grand total of 4 fruit. And another card. Gain shells. Oh, baby. I needed shells. Holy moly. That could not have ended up better. I now have 4 shells. I'm feeling really good about what I'm about to do. Cool. Going to try the Battle of Symmetry. I need 4 of these symbols, and if I push it, do I want to push it to get the synergy? Yes, I do, because if I pushed it and got this one last synergy, it'll bring me to 4, get me another standing power, might help me. So let's make that happen. Right now my focus is 3. It's okay. So it looks like these are the 3 dice that I'm going to take. A little bit suboptimal, but remember, and I haven't used this yet, I can use 1 blank face as a wild. So I'm hoping to get 2 off of here, 1 off of here, and then that. I have enough shells to cover what terrible things will come out of this die. So let's see what happens. Okay. Wow. That is almost perfect. So I got the 3 focus die covered. This is not what I want. I only got 1 X, which at this point I'm going to take as a victory, and I'm going to put that on my shell. My shell shield, say that 10 times fast, has 7 things on it. Just to remind you guys what the power is, I can spend 4 shells to set a die to any face, or spend 6 shells to refresh 2 dice. I think I want to hold on to that refresh 2 dice and try to get that 1 in 2 chance of fulfilling this condition. Come on, synergy. Synergy. Beautiful. I have to take care of 2 X's over here. 2 X's right there. That's too bad. But, I was able to get the card, which is great. Okay, so we're just going to stick that right under here. Got maximum power for when I want to go after those monsters, at least on the purple side. I got 3 focus, which lets me roll 4 dice, which is great, and 1 synergy, which gets me another card. Okay. When you push on a spirit challenge, blue must point on the champion board. Whew. Wow, that's going to be pretty useful. When you complete a 3-symbol challenge, you may take your island bonus again. I don't know if I'm going to complete a 3-symbol challenge. I think this one, because it has extra movement on the champion board, that's what determines victory. That's the one I'm going to take. Solo board's a little bit mess. You can get the idea, though. I'm going to take that out. Wish there was a different way to keep that organized and looking a little bit clean, but that's okay. This was worth 3. I completed a 3 challenge. Bye-bye. Okay, for the bot turn, looks like he is going to the Lamar Stadium, which not too happy about that, but there's nothing much that I can do. Going to the 2 slot, Let's put a token there for you. Gonna move the boat. I kind of wanted this, but I got the upgrades I wanted from the challenge anyway, so it's not too bad. The bad part is the judge is here. So it is going to hop ahead 2 on the challenge board. The bot is now 2 ahead of me. All right, so for my next move, I am going to move over to Lamar Stadium, and I'm going to go to Racer's Bay. Racer's Bay allows me to, well, move 1 just from the actual action at Lamar Stadium, which gets me a precious thing. Oh yeah, refresh number of dice equal to spirit. You know I was looking for that one. Woohoo! We are going to renew 4 dice right there. Have almost my full complement. Okay. Going to move 2 for the Racer's Bay power, which is a shell, which brings me up to 2. And then my power, which is still on, I move on the champion board. Bam! I'm 1 behind the croc over here. So, other reason I did that was my last challenge in my hand is this thing. I was planning on using something to get my dice recovered, but the stunt ended up helping me do it for me. So this should be fairly easy to accomplish. So these are the 3 dice that I'm going to use. I could use 4. I'm okay. I don't have infinite dice recovery. These are good enough. I'm going to have to get these back eventually for what I want to do ultimately. We'll see. Okay. Well, this is never good. That's the -2. I have to spend 2 shells. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 4 shells off my shell shield because I have no shells left to power that spell to turn this into what I want. So that is beautiful. A couple of things have happened off of that. First of all, I get yet another challenge. 2 strength challenge over here. So that's good. Doesn't really do too much for me, but what are you going to do? No shells. All the shells are on here. I can spend shells to refresh 2 dice, which I'm probably going to do at some point. We'll see. So I get more spirit, 2 more synergy. Not that it really matters because I'm not playing for points in the solo. Oh, I got to use the token over there. But a very significant interaction that happened at Lamar Stadium. I got 1 from impressing the judge. The judge was sitting right on Lamar Stadium, and also the rival was there, so he goes back -1. Very cool. Although, pulling this next card, he is going to back to Lamar Stadium in the 1 spot, so the 1 spot is open, so he's going to be able to go there. I'm at 9 for the plot effect, so I might get hit. I might get hit with some plot effect at some point. We shall see. So the bad thing that happened here is that the judge is over here. So I did a little do-si-do with the reputation. He just gets it right back, and he is now 1 ahead of me. I'm okay with that, though. I think I'm going to be able to pull this off. All right, so I have a 3rd action available to me, and I'm going to go to the Droxa Ring for it. Go on to the Desert Caravan. Lovely spot now because my resilience is 4. I get to recover 4 dice. Not upgrade, but recover. That's going to be this one right there. I have some fruit available to me, and that's going to use 3 fruit to buy this card to get another blue die and a challenge card. So the blue die, it's always good to have extra dice. But the challenge card, I am hoping for a Droxa Ring card so I could do it right now and get my reputation from it. It's exactly what it is. Did not set that up, people. I just haven't gotten a lot of yellow in the market, so the yellows, so the yellow stuck into the deck. There you go. So that looks like a pretty fairly easy challenge. So let us use a little bit of a retcon here. I'm actually not going to go for this because I don't have any shells. Free anyway, so I'm just going to hold on to that for now. I can always just go back later. I have 3 more actions to decide what to do. All right, so the bot's 4th action, it's going to go Lamar Stadium, but Lamar Stadium is actually full, so it's going to go to over here. So it is going to deal damage equal to the round marker, which, what a surprise. Covering all the good stuff over here, It is going to move forward 1 on the champion track. It is now maximum on the champion track, so I need to move him back 1 somehow in order to beat him, because he is now at maximum reputation. Terrible for me. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft my one of my allies over here, and we are going to go for the gusto. Oh baby, we got 1, 2, 3 shells. We are at 4 focus, so we are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. All of my good dice. I'm also going to spend a fruit to get 5 dice, and I also get a bonus. The bonus is going to be equal to 4, so I get the highest level fighting style die to roll, and I get to roll that one too. All right, check out that dice pool. Whew! I'm going to lose all these dice, but it's going to be glorious and worth it. Let's check it out. Okay, shield, shield. That was the most important thing. 2 of these, that's great. I need this to be a shield, and that one, that one could be a symbol right there. I need this to be 2, and I need this to be a shield. I forgot to roll this die right there. Lost 2 shells. I have 3 shells over here. Yep. Only have 1 shell, so I'm only able to defend 1 more time. Keep in mind I do have a 4 shell over there to be able to manipulate that, and so I only need to roll 1 more thing, and I'll be able to kill that monster right off, which would be amazing. Perfection. Check that out. Oh, actually not perfection, but it's workable. Okay, so this one I would just discard. It's only 1x. I'm going to discard my last shell or put it on my shell shield. I'm going to spend 4 off of the shell shield to turn this into a double. Wham! Ha ha! I lose all these fancy dice, but this one goes from full to dead. Excellent. All right, so I can advance any trait by 2 notches. I also get the kill bonus, which is the champion, and then I have this champion as well. All right, so I have moved up 3 theoretically on the champion board, and yet this is it. So I guess I would be here. I'm not really sure what happens. I know I'm ahead of the clock by 1 at this point, and I can't find clarification in the rulebook or on the BG forums. So what happens if you go past this? Am I going to count it? I'm just going to say that the count keeps on going, just for the sake of keeping play going. I don't feel like looking up a whole bunch of stuff. But, you know, I'll just do the best that I can. And if anybody has any clarification, maybe I'll just hit up the publisher. He's a pretty cool guy, James Hudson, and see if he has any clarification. So for now, I'm just going to play it like this. I'm now ahead of the clock by 1. Okay, so just to let you know, clear board in terms of dice. All my good dice are gone anyway. I still have 4 shells in my spell shield, which is pretty neat. That might come in handy. Last thing, according to Echo's power over here, who I used, after fighting a monster, get a die with a level equal to the number of different types of trait you hit. I hit 3 different traits, so I'm going to get a level 3 die, and that level 3 die is going to be a blue. Blue/green. So that is excellent. Not going to use Echo anymore. Echo is done. So for the very last monster turn of the game, I think the monster is going to end out with a whimper. So it goes to the 3 spot over here. Let me go grab monster over there. Is going to just sit there. Doesn't have enough tokens, but he blocks it because it's his 5th action. Doesn't have an additional effect off the Carnassium. I did a great job managing the purple on the bot, the purple cards. So I only have 7 on there. Did not proc the power. Don't have to worry about any more plot effects for the rest of the game. And I have 2 turns left. One with Axel and one with Dust, the ally. All right, so let's bring this baby home a little bit. So then I am going to go to the Droxta Ring. I'm going to go to the Drifter's Dock. I'm going to get a fruit and discard 2 cards to the market over here. Discard these 2. Ooh, interesting. I only have 2 fruit, or else I would have absolutely gone for this one. 5 shells is very much what I want. I kept this one around for 2 shells, so I am going to get 2 shells, which gives me a grand total of 2 shells. And Mist over here is going to attempt this card. Actually, wait a minute. Before I do that, I'm going to use Mist Power. Mist Power is to discard a challenge card and get a stun card. Perfect. See what I get. Yeah! Sweet. Should have done that before. Oh, well. At least, I mean, I'm going to need the shells anyway, so that's perfectly fine. So that is 4 shells. Up to 6, feeling good. And I am going to finish this one off with my not very mighty collection. I don't need to push anything. I don't have anybody to impress there, but I do need to contend with this die. Okay, that gets me this. That doesn't do anything. I have 1 X, and that is going to be 1 shell. So then let's try to roll a shield. Got it. I have to discard 2 shells for that one. They both go on my shell shield. I complete. Carry the molten glass. Okay, I'm going to stick that under here. That gets me 2 additional champion units. I get to move up my dials, but at this point it doesn't really matter anymore. Yep, it's full anyway. Let's see. These dice go in my spent pool. This one goes away. And I would have an opportunity to discard from the bot, but the bot is done for the game, so I'm not going to bother. So the very last thing I'm going to do in the game, I'm going to do this power that I was saving up the entire time, and I could do it last. This power, I had 7 shells on here. I discarded down to 1. Spend 6 shells to refresh 2 dice. So I am going to try with Echo, or with Axel. Come over here, get 2 shells. I now have 5 to face off against the massive hagworm. I want to kill it to, put a stamp on everything. And I roll this to go along with it. That is 1 die killed. I did not get that I wanted, so I have to spend a shell. I'm not too worried about that. Just need to roll a triangle. Okay, spend 2 shells. I have killed another monster. Bye-bye. Don't want the champion to get any more credit than he deserves. I get to advance any trait by 1 notch. I don't have to worry about that. Gain 3 fruit. Don't have to worry about that. Kill bonus, though. I get more reputation just to make sure that I'm ahead. Also, if this thing fleed, I would have gone back 1, and I do not want that. I do not want to go back any honor whatsoever. This is why I spent my very last turn of the game to kill it. So that was a full solo run through of Tidal Blades. 1 game. I did win and I did do really well. Had some lucky rolls in there, lucky turns in terms of cards, getting them at the right time. So I was able to kind of distance myself and get what I need to do. Also, it's the quote unquote easier mode. There are plenty of different options. So you have legendary challenge. I didn't even shuffle those in. This is attempt at a judge location, kind of mixes up the meta a little bit. And advanced market cards, and as another side of the board for the Citadel of Time. Lots of different options, lots to explore, and an expansion, which I'm going to get. I really enjoy this game. So I hope that you enjoyed the playthrough. I hope that you enjoy your time at the One Stop Co-op Shop. So until next time, this is Jason reminding you, we'll see you at the next stop.